And we are speeding. Ready to wipe to alpha with music, mic, and cue in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wipe alpha.
And it's 11 a.m. ahead on WPTV News.
And
the struggle of COVID-19 surges throughout the country. A new COVID variant, Omicron, makes its way to America. Snow won't be the only thing to worry about this winter for families.
And wipe to beta.
And in Barbados, a reign of a queen comes to an end. The country looks to inspire others to follow its blueprint for freedom.
And ready to wipe
All
to
that
alpha.
And more coming up next on Newsbrief.
And wipe to alpha. Good. Okay, ready to wipe back to camera 2? And wipe to camera 2.
Welcome to this WPTV News Brief. I'm Al Clark. It's 36 degrees right now, and we'll have a complete forecast just ahead. But first, a check of today's local stories.
And take one with.
The New Jersey governor is preparing for the new Omicron variant of COVID. Governor Phil Murphy has said it is still too soon to predict the full impact of this new variant. Currently, New Jersey has focused on having enough tests available for the new strain. Although the new variant poses strong concerns going forward, officials have urged people not to forget about the Delta strain, which is still the primary variant going around at this time. Health officials say the best thing to do is not overreact and continue to follow CDC guidelines.
And take 3 with.
A Wayne man has been charged among 3 charged after a stabbing authorities say a fight broke out in Passaic, which led to 2 people being hospitalized. The Wayne resident was charged with first-degree attempted murder, conspiracy to commit aggravated assault, and possession of a weapon for an unlawful purpose. Motions for pretrial detention were filed for all 3 men, which a judge will hear on Wednesday.
And take one with.
An off-duty Newark police officer was allegedly intoxicated when he hit and killed a pedestrian on the Garden State Parkway. Luis Santiago loaded the dead body into his car.
One of my best friends grew up with him.
Really?
And drove to his parents' home in Bloomfield. Santiago's father, a lieutenant with the Newark Police Department, called the New Jersey State Police. After a failed attempt to leave the deceased body at his parents' home, Santiago drove back to the scene with the crime with the dead body in his back seat. The body remained in the car until police arrived. Santiago was charged with DWI, vehicular homicide, desecrating human remains, and stupidity.
And take 3 with.
Police in Cherry Hill
are
searching for a hit-and-run driver who hit a lady Thanksgiving night. Police say a woman was walking across Route 70 Thanksgiving night around 7 p.m. She was hit in the westbound lane, and the driver of a dark vehicle did not stop. Police have not yet identified the man in the car. Anyone with information on the incident, please call Detective Christina Grimaldi from the Cherry Hill Police Department.
And take one with.
Advocates are calling for the removal of a street sign honoring a New Jersey priest accused of sexual abuse. Monsignor Eugene Finelli has been accused of at least 4 people of sexually abusing children in the West New York parish. In early November, the movement began to take down the sign that was placed in 1989. Charges were filed in the fall of 2019. This is not the first time a member of the Catholic Church has been accused of such crimes. Many local governments have also been making changes to their communal spaces to avoid controversy.
And take 3 with.
Detective injured in a collision involving a stolen car. That's not a sentence.
Okay, ready to take 2 clean?
A 17-year-old boy in Newark crashed into a police vehicle. The teenager was sitting in the stolen car, which was reported stolen in New York. The teenager and his 16-year-old passenger tried to avoid officers by traveling in the opposite direction. After crashing into a police car, a detective was injured in the head. The detective was treated at the hospital for undisclosed injuries, and the teens were taken into custody.
And take 2 clean.
Right now it's 34 degrees outside with a low wind chill. This afternoon, light flurries will
23.
appear with a high of 39 degrees and a low of
And
34.
radio white back to camera
Going
2.
into tomorrow, it will be in the 40s with a high of 45 and a low of 32. Thursday will be similar with a high in the mid-50s and a low in the 30s. It will stay the same Friday with a high of 50 and a low of 32. The holidays are coming, and get your hot chocolate ready. Going into the weekend, we will see some
And
chilly
white back to
days
camera 2,
rolling
please.
into the region with a high of 39 and a low of 27.
Ready to take music
Taking a
under?
look for next week, expected to be in the
later.
mid-40s with a
Ready,
low in the
white
30s.
out.
Winter will
Wait.
be here to stay.
Can we get some music under? A little bit.
Anyone could
And red,
become a
white to alpha,
hero,
and white
but
to
for
alpha.
a woman in Utah,
And
it will
kilo
be
third.
remembered forever. All that and more
Ready to lose our
coming
third
up
and lose.
next on WPTV Newsbrief.
And ready to dip the beta and dip the beta. Nice, nice.
Ah,
Nice,
this
nice.
is turtle. So beautiful. So majestic.
25.
And they carry their home around with them, isn't that cute? However,
20.
she cannot compare to the greatest thing nature has given us. That, of course,
15.
is the WPTV. Mwah. Oh, I could watch that all day.
9, 8.
Right, Mr. Turtle?
6.
Yeah, I
5,
bet you agree, Mr.
4,
Turtle.
3. And ready to wipe back to camera 2. And dip back to camera 2. And ready to dip back to camera 2.
Welcome
Kilo
back
third and
to
kid.
this WPTV Newsbrief. I'm Al
Ready
Clark.
to lose over third and
It's
lose
time
it.
now
Yes.
for news around the
Ready to
country.
take one with and take one with.
The Omicron
take
variant
Alpha
is
Clean?
threatening to rattle America's
No
winter.
package.
Here's Camilla Bernal with more.
And take Alpha Clean.
With the new Omicron variant comes a renewed push for booster shots.
Get your vaccine. Get your booster.
The CDC saying all adults should get boosted 6 months after the second
120,
dose of Pfizer or Moderna's vaccine, or 2 months after
the
the
next
single
one's a
dose
package.
of Johnson & Johnson.
Big question for us, in addition to the,
They're all
do the
packages.
vaccines work, is will it really seed itself in countries and will it really outcompete Delta?
And
The
ready
new variant has not been
take,
reported
take
in
two
the
clean.
U.S., but a growing number of countries
Two-
have
two clean,
confirmed
two.
So
cases,
it's this one, right? Cut.
including Canada. Across
Yeah.
the border, New York City announcing
take two.
an indoor mask advisory.
We have notification that it has arrived in Ontario, which is literally across the bridge
45.
from where I live. I can see Canada from my house.
Health officials say there are likely far more
40,
cases
40.
worldwide than is currently known, but more data is needed to understand the variant.
It's too early to tell. We really need to wait
30.
for them to give us the information.
In the meantime, dozens of countries and territories have imposed restrictions on travel from several African
20
countries, leaving some
20
Americans
Ready to
stranded.
take two clean?
It's been very confusing and it just happened so
15.
fast.
And some experts say travel restrictions might slow down the spread, but they
9,
likely
8,
won't stop it.
7.
We can't prevent the
6,
spread of this virus across
5.
borders.
I'm
4.
Camila Bernal,
Ready to take two clean?
reporting.
And take two clean.
Travel restrictions may slow
take
the
three with?
spread, but won't stop the variant from spreading around the world.
And take 3 with.
A Utah woman is a hero after a brave rescue. Here's
Ready to take
Dan
Alpha
Rascon with more.
And take Alpha Clean.
Yeah, this was a huge fire. According to neighbors, the flames 50 feet or higher. You can see the destruction that it left
Oh, we
behind.
got like 2 minutes.
Sarah says she just didn't think. She just reacted
Ready to take two
and
clean?
jumped into action.
I barely knocked on the door. The guy was asleep.
The voice of Sarah Mon as she captures a massive house fire in West Jordan on her cell
And the
phone.
house next door is now on fire.
But Sarah was not just a bystander.
I just ran up to the door and just banged on his door. And somebody was in there. He was dead asleep.
No, she battled the intense heat
1:30.
and risked her own life to save another.
He came to the door, says, "Your house is on fire." He saw the flames on the garage and his mouth was just dropped. He was dead asleep, surprised.
in this house here?
No, I could feel the heat. Yeah, it was intense. It was already to the doorway as we were running out.
We caught up with Sarah at her job as a dental hygienist. Turns out she didn't just risk her own life, but also the life of her unborn child. Sarah is 4.5 months pregnant.
I just reacted. Probably not the best idea, being pregnant, but, I would hate to see the fire and know I didn't do anything and somebody died.
What also makes this amazing is that Sarah actually lives a couple blocks away.
50,
So she ended up jumping into her car to get over there. After pulling up to the home, she jumped out of the car and then ran up
Nah,
to the
that's-
front
that's a
door
hard-ass shot.
to help the man.
Not a second thought. I left my husband at home. I was in the driveway. I was gone.
But Sarah wasn't the only hero that day.
I
I do not know. I don't think so.
West Jordan police officers also ran to the rescue of the homeowner next door, pulling a woman and her dog to safety as that house caught fire. Sarah's thankful everyone made it out alive.
He was kind of in a daze. He was very grateful. We were just kind of hugging each other, but he's like, I would have been smoked out. He says, I would have been dead if you hadn't banged on that door.
Investigators tell me that the fire
10,
started here in the garage
9,
area,
8,
but the cause
7,
is still under investigation.
Ready, take two clean.
I'm Dan Roscoe for KSL 5 News.
Take two clean.
Thanks to Sarah's heroic
Ready
efforts,
to take
everyone
one
made
with?
it out of the fire with no injuries.
And take one with.
The Queen's reign
There's
over
another package.
Barbados is now over. Barbados is
Ready to take
now
out
a
clean?
republic. Max?
Take off clean. Oh, what happened?
Okay.
That's fine, that's fine. Stepped them on a little bit. Sorry.
Sandra
Okay, ready to take two clean?
Do swear that I will well and truly serve Barbados.
55 years after gaining independence from the UK, Barbados cuts its last formal tie to its former coloniser. The Royal Standard flag lowered and replaced by the Presidential Standard, marking the end of the Queen's reign on this island and a new future under a Barbadian-born head of state appointed by the Barbadian Parliament.
Our country and our people must dream big dreams and fight to realize them.
Prince Charles invited as a guest of honour amongst the likes of pop star Rihanna. He used the moment to acknowledge Britain's role in the slave trade.
I don't know if I believe that.
From the darkest days
But if
of
it's
our
ASAP, I might
past
believe that.
and the appalling atrocity of slavery, which forever stains our history, the people of this island forged their path with extraordinary fortitude.
It was unusually stark language from the UK, but disappointed those holding out for a formal apology.
Prince Charles was part of the royal family. The royal family contributed to slavery.
110.
The royal family benefited from slavery financially. And many of our African brothers and sisters died in battle, okay, for change.
It was in the 1620s that British settlers arrived in this paradise, and they went on to build vast fortunes from the sugar and the slave trades. Calls for compensation for that dark period in British history grew louder during the Black Lives Matter protests, as did the push to a republic.
Clearly, people in
30
Africa,
then we're in the
in
out.
this region, in
30 and we're in the
parts
out.
of the world, still feel that profound sense of injustice.
After he
It's
sa-
quite
after he
right
says
that
some
we
tag, yeah.
recognise that we are determined that such a thing could never happen again.
The Queen is still head of state in 15 countries around the world, and Republican movements in those nations will be looking at what's happened here in Barbados, hoping that this will add momentum to their own campaigns. Max Foster, CNN, Bridgetown, Barbados.
And take two clean.
Other nations under British rule
Ready to take
will
music
look
under?
toward Barbados for inspiration
Not
in
you.
the search for independence.
Can we get music under?
And that's all
And
for
ready to
this
wipe the black?
WPTV News update. I'm Al Clark.
Wipe
Have a
the
good
black.
night.
Kill the music. Kill the music. Alright, that's good. And stop record. Hey, nice job, y'all. Nice job.
That was it. I kind of know where I need to